Have you ever felt like something was watching you from the shadows? Maybe you've brushed it off as a trick of the light or an overactive imagination. But what if I told you sometimes it's neither? Sometimes there's something lurking there, waiting. In a small, forgotten town, nestled deep in the woods, there was a house that no one dared to enter. It stood at the edge of a dense forest, shrouded in perpetual twilight. The locals called it the Shadow House. They spoke in hushed tones about the malevolent entity that resided within its decaying walls. One crisp autumn evening, a young couple, Jack and Emily, decided to explore the house. Fueled by a sense of adventure and a touch of skepticism, they dismissed the warnings as mere folklore. Armed with flashlights and a camera, they made their way to the ominous structure. As they crossed the threshold, an unsettling chill filled the air. The floorboards creaked under their weight, and the air felt thick, almost suffocating. Jack led the way, his flashlight casting long, eerie shadows on the walls. "Maybe we should leave," Emily whispered, her voice trembling. Jack shook his head, determined to prove their bravery. As they ventured deeper into the house, they came across a room that seemed untouched by time. In the center stood an old, ornate mirror, its surface covered in a thick layer of dust. Jack wiped away the dust, revealing their reflection. But something was wrong. Their reflection seemed off. Emily's face twisted in fear as she noticed a dark figure standing behind them in the mirror, a figure that wasn't there in the room. They spun around, flashlights darting across the room, but there was nothing there, just shadows. Jack laughed nervously, brushing it off as a trick of the light. But Emily couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Determined to leave, they turned to exit the room, but the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Panic set in as they struggled to open it, but it wouldn't budge. A low, guttural growl echoed through the house, sending shivers down their spines. The shadows seemed to writhe and pulse, taking on a life of their own. Jack pointed the flashlight towards the corner of the room, and there it was. A figure, cloaked in darkness with glowing red eyes, stared back at them. "Who are you?" Jack demanded, his voice shaking. The entity remained silent, but its presence grew more oppressive, more malevolent. Emily clutched Jack's arm, her eyes wide with terror. Suddenly the figure lunged at them, and the room was plunged into darkness. Their screams were swallowed by the void as they felt icy hands dragging them into the shadows. The next morning, the townsfolk found the house empty. Jack and Emily were never seen again. The Shadow House claimed them, just as it had claimed many before. So, the next time you feel something watching you from the shadows, remember Jack and Emily. Sometimes the shadows are more than just shadows. Sometimes they're waiting. Stay safe and beware the shadows.